seconds and counting.
Hey, what's good, guys? It's Clutch here, and Essam here, back in another video. And for today's video, I'm going to be talking about the Houston Texans. I'm going to talk about one thing in particular that's kind of been going wrong with this team. And that thing in particular just so happens to be quarterback Davis Mills. I mean, Davis Mills, we had a lot of expectations for him going into the season. We all thought he was gonna play pretty good, have some good performances. And through 3 weeks so far, that just hasn't been the case. I mean, he did have an okay week one, but when it did get down into the fourth quarter, into crunch time, when it really matters, he just kind of disappeared. You know, like he just wasn't there. He made bad reads. He caused a fumble. He took some unnecessary sacks, and that's been the case pretty much all season so far. Through these 3 weeks, in each fourth quarter, he's just kind of gone ghost. In the fourth quarter against Indianapolis, he went ghost. Fourth quarter against Denver, he really went ghost. Fourth quarter against Chicago, I mean, he only had the ball, I think, twice, if I'm not mistaken. 3 times, maybe. And when it really, really mattered on that last potential game-winning drive, he threw an interception. Of course, I mean, you can say, oh, yeah, he got tipped at the line. But even if it didn't get tipped, that was going to be intercepted. I mean, that was a bad read. The DB was already breaking on that route. He would have gotten there even if it wasn't tipped. So that's an interception either way. So yeah, just through 3 weeks so far, he hasn't been the Davis Mills that we remember him being last year, and he just hasn't been that good. Through 3 games so far, he has 662 yards, and I mean, that's pretty good. I mean, especially from the third round sophomore quarterback, that's pretty good. You can't expect. I mean, that's pretty good, as I said. 3 touchdowns through 3 games, only 3 touchdowns. It's kind of rough. I need at least 5 touchdowns. 5, 6 touchdowns, and he has 2 interceptions, so he is keeping that turnover rate in terms of interceptions lower than he has. 2 interceptions, those 2 interceptions did go against Chicago. One, I mean, both were really his fault, honestly. The first one, I guess it kind of was misfortunate the way it tipped up into the air, but that also was a bad read. That cornerback was all over that receiver. It was just a bad read in general. It was just misfortunate that it was intercepted. It should have definitely been tipped, like a pass breakup. But interception, I mean, I don't know. But the second one, yeah, it was definitely his fault. He just kind of, obviously was tipped, that one too, at the line. But it was just a bad read in general. And Davis Mills, through fourth quarters and, of course, overtime against Indianapolis, when it matters, when you need your franchise quarterback to step up the most, he just hasn't been able to do that. He just disappears. He just gets nervous. He gets a lot of happy feet. And that's pretty much during the whole game, too. He gets happy feet during the game. It's like he doesn't trust his offensive line, which, I mean, obviously, if I was the Texans quarterback, I probably wouldn't put my whole trust in the offensive line either. But to an extent, you kind of have to. You're the quarterback of this team. You have to stay in that pocket. You have to take hits. You have to sacrifice hits. And you have to stand in their pocket and make throws. And he just hasn't been able to do that all season, really. I mean, yeah, for a few times he has been able to do that. I remember 2 good balls against Denver. They were in the fourth quarter. So I mean, the fourth quarter was kind of bad, but he did have some good positives in that fourth quarter against Denver. He hit one, I think, like a 20-yard ball to Cooks and like a 20-yard ball to Nico Collins. And both of those, he stood in that pocket, and I think he took a hit on both of them. And they were pretty big hits, actually, and he got up. So that's the type of Davis Mills we need to see. The guy that's going to stand in that pocket, the type of guy that's going to take a hit and deliver a strike. And we just haven't seen it consistently. And that's what you need to see from your franchise quarterback. And as it stands right now, if Davis Mills keeps playing how he's playing, we're going to probably have a top 3 pick in the NFL draft, most likely. And we're most likely going to be taking a quarterback, whether that be Bryce Young, whether that be C.J. Stroud, whether that be another guy that comes into the equation later in this college season. But yeah, as it stands right now, we're going to be taking a quarterback, and it is Davis Mills' fault. Obviously, we haven't done him justice by putting enough talent around him. But when we compare this team's offense this year compared to last year, we do have some good additions. We've added Tyler Johnson. I mean, he hasn't played yet, but we did add Kenyon Green. We got Laramie Tunsil back. He didn't really play last year. Tatis Howard, he's back to playing right tackle. I mean, obviously he hasn't been great, but it's better than the right tackle last year. We added a few guys getting healthier. We added A.J. Cann at the right guard, who's undoubtedly a better right guard, and I don't even remember who it was last year. I think Questenberry or something. I don't know. Last year was just a whole mess. But we have added a couple pieces, so it shouldn't make sense for him to regress. I think more so is just on that offensive play calling by Pep Hamilton. Because I mean, it doesn't make sense for your third round sophomore quarterback to have a pretty solid rookie year for under the circumstances, and then come back into a second year and so far have a worse year. Basically, as I said, he regressed, and that just doesn't make sense. So it's obviously something happening internally with the play calling, and if it's not that, then I don't know. Davis Mills he just kind of fell off, I guess. That's just no other explanation. But yeah, as I said, as it stands right now, we're probably gonna be taking a quarterback if he does not improve. But different things we could help Davis Mills with. I mean, not as fans. Like the Texans could help Davis Mills with. Of course, get Tyler Johnson acclimated, get him into the game, be that pure slot receiver. I don't know why he hasn't played a single snap at all this season. He should have played week 1. I mean, there's no excuse really. This offense, it's not really even like it's hard to learn. The receivers run the same routes every play, basically, it seems. Just get him in there. Get him in there, get him the ball. Let him work his magic like he did in Tampa Bay. I mean, he's not this big name guy, but he can definitely make some magic happen from the slot, especially for a team like this where heavy run, play action, get it to the slot receiver, let him have fun with it, I guess. Maybe get a better running back too. I don't know where we would get that. Maybe I've seen a lot of talk about Dearness Johnson from the Cleveland Browns. Maybe trade a pick for him, be that running back too over Rex Burkhead, because Rex Burkhead, every time he comes into the game, it's like you already know that it's not going to be a good play. It's either going to be like a gain of 1, gain of 2, or a screen for like 2 yards to Rex Burkhead. It's going to be something like that. But we just need to get a different change of scenery in that running back 2 spot. Get Rex Burkhead out of here, or at least put him at running back 3. There's no excuse for him to be playing as much as he is, even still. I don't think he got too many carries yesterday, but he's still playing too much for his talent level. He's just not talented enough to be a running back 2. But yeah, that's pretty much the video. Let me know what you guys got thoughts on Davis Mills, how he's played this season so far. Is it more on him? Is it more on the coaches, Pep Hamilton, play calling? What do y'all think it's on? But it's been Clutch City Entertainment, and I hope you guys have a good day. Peace.